Hey guys, in this video, we're finally going to talk about copywriting. This is an extremely important lesson, probably one of the most important lessons when it comes to marketing and advertising, because I'm going to cover how to sell with words, whether they are written or spoken. So I'm not going to waste any of your time because this lesson is probably going to be a tiny bit long. So I'm just going to jump right into my screen here and take a look at what I'm going to teach you this lesson. For the remaining of this video, I'm going to be using the example of a fitness course. Now, before you start writing any copy is just text that sells. Okay, that's what copywriting means. That's what copy means. And before you start writing any copy, there are three things you need to understand about your audience: what their fears are, what their desires are, and what their limiting beliefs are. Now, after you find those three things out, before you start actually writing anything, we need to create an avatar. We need to create a person that's the closest possible person to your perfect audience, or to the persona that are most likely to purchase whatever you are selling. So create a person. I want you to sit down, write a name, gender, their interests, the problems they have, what they do when they get home from work, what they do for work, when they purchase your product, why they like your product, their fears, their desires, their hidden dreams. You want to create a full-blown person, okay? That is the most ideal persona that purchases your stuff. But it's just going to make it more easy to visualize and write directly to someone rather than just guess when we write copy. Okay? So I've done that here. This is a guy. He's 21 years old. His name is Jack. Some of his fears are social interaction, being the center of attention, going shirtless at the beach, talking to women, not being good enough, and not living up to his parents' expectations. Okay? His desires are successful career, proud of himself. He wants to have confidence. That's what he dreams of. Being respected because he's felt inadequate in his entire life, and getting looked at by women because he's not confident. This guy is not confident. He freezes up every time he tries to talk to a woman. He starts shaking, his voice starts getting nervous, and you can tell, and he doesn't even have confidence to actually walk up to these women because he feels like he's just not good enough the way he looks like right now. And some limiting beliefs is that so by the way, what this guy wants is to get in shape, or was selling a fitness course, right? And some of his limiting beliefs are that you need a high metabolism to lose weight. You need to be handsome to have success with women. You need to work out every single day to become good looking. You have to only eat super clean to get in shape. You need money for healthy food. He believes that because he doesn't have money, he can't eat healthy because eating healthy is expensive. And he needs to spend a lot of time meal prepping. But Jack's in college. He doesn't have time for this. He's a full-time student with other hobbies as well, right? So when selling a fitness course for men, your audience will buy because they want to learn how they can get in shape in X amount of time without having to give up Y. Which means, looking back at our offer, Jack wants a guaranteed way to get a six-pack in a relatively short time frame without giving up the food he likes and without having to spend a lot of money on expensive food that takes forever to cook. Okay? So now we're starting to actually shape our offer just by analyzing this person's needs and desires and fears, right? He wants to be able to walk around with his head held high, thrive in social interactions at parties, and enjoy the feeling of women turning their heads when he walks by. Okay, so just with this that I've created right now, we know exactly what kind of pain points we're going to market. We know exactly what kind of limiting beliefs we need to delete in the ads on the homepage, on the VSL. We know exactly how to speak to this person because we know him so well. And no matter who that person that you create is, there is going to be a niche, an audience of people who are exactly that person. That's why it's better to relate extremely deeply to a smaller group of people than kind of relate to everyone, right? So when it comes to speaking to their deepest desires, your copy should always be convincing them that your product will be the solution to their problems and that it will make their deepest desires come true. And the thing is, they might not even be aware of them, because Jack, he wants to get a six-pack. He wants to get in shape, right? But why does he want to get in shape? Okay, he wants to get in shape because he's not confident, right? So he thinks he wants to. Jack thinks if he looks better, he's gonna get all the confidence and his life is gonna be perfect, right? So he wants to get in shape because he wants to look better. But why does he want to look better? Because he wants to attract women. He wants to be confident enough to be able to attract women. And why does he want to attract women? Well, the short answer is to get laid, right? If you start your copy with, I'm not a very good looking guy, but after using this fitness program for 90 days, the amount of Tinder matches I got quadrupled. I now have girls begging to date me, right? So imagine you're Jack, right? This is a very extreme example, by the way, but you get what I'm trying to say. If Jack scrolled and he saw an ad and the guy was saying, I'm not a very good looking guy, but after using this fitness program for 90 days, the amount of Tinder matches I got quadrupled. I now have girls begging to date me. This fitness program will get you in shape in 90 days, right? It can't even compare, okay? So that's why it's so important to actually understand the underlying things about people, because they say they want to get a six-pack, but you don't even know why they want to get a six-pack. There's so many layers below that statement that we need to be aware of before we start writing copy for this audience. So now we move on to composition. My bad. Every copy has three parts: a hook, a body, and a call to action, a CTA. So when it comes to the hook, the entire point of it is to grab your audience's attention and give them a reason to read or to listen to the rest of what you have to say. So the hook can be a couple of different things here. It can be a question, it can be a statement. By the way, controversial is always better. Call out, statistic, or quote. And it's important to remember that when we write these kinds of copy, we need to be aware that people are sitting brain dead, scrolling social media. They've probably been doing it for hours. And there's not a single conscious brain cell in their mind that's working right now, because they're just like in a hypnosis of scrolling. So you need to tell them something in 3 seconds or less that's going to actually make them reactivate their brain and pay attention to what you have to tell them. Okay, and that's tricky, but it's very possible. So, for example, most guys think they have to give up beer and pizza to get their dream body, but that couldn't be further from the truth. That makes people start thinking, right? Because that's a statement. And it's a controversial statement because most people think that you have to eat kale and eat chicken every day, right? But that's not true. But a lot of people think that. So when you say most guys think they have to give up beer and pizza to get their dream body, but that couldn't be further from the truth, it's going to make them start think. It's going to make them start question their beliefs, and they want to see why you just said what you did. So that's a lot better than I'm going to teach you how to get in shape, because if I'm brain deadly scrolling, if you can use that word, mindlessly scrolling, and I see someone say this, I'm going to teach you how to get in shape, I'll just scroll past it because it's not interesting, right? When it comes to the body, the point of the body is to elaborate on the hook, tell a story that triggers Jack's biggest fears, and eliminate his limiting beliefs, okay? So if you have any sort of bold statement, back it up with proof, always, okay? So here are some components of the body. You don't need them in every ad, but I do recommend that you have them in most ads, or try to have as many of them as possible. So the first one is explain the hook. You need a transition or an explanation to the statement or the question or the statistic or the call out that you gave. in the hook. Then you need to tell a story, because stories sell. And then you need to add social proof to back up these statements, okay? Then you have the call to action. The call to action is there to tell people what to do after they have watched your ad. Never pitch anything related to your course in the call to action. You pitch the lead magnet, which in our example here is the VSL, where you will give a lot of value and bonuses, free workout, meal plans, etc. Now, the reason you don't want to pitch anything in the ad is because the ad is meant to sell the click, not your course. That is very important to remember. The point of the ad is to sell the click. Okay, you can't ask a woman to marry you on the first date. First time someone sees you on an ad, you can't. You need foreplay, like I've said before. So sell the click because you want to give them something for free. You just want to help them, right? Which is essentially what you want to do. But you don't pitch them anything until they've watched the VSL, okay? Then some components you can include in the call to action is scarcity and social proof. Now I want to show you an ad example for an ad that I've written for this exact niche that we've been talking about. So the ad example goes like this. Most guys think they have to give up food. Most guys think they have to give up the food they love to get a six-pack, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The majority of men, typo right there. The majority of men are extremely misinformed when it comes to fitness, which is also why most men don't look the way they want. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to work out every day to lose weight and get ripped. You don't have to spend money on a healthy diet. You don't have to waste time to cook all your meals on your own. To help you achieve your dream body, I've put together a video where I'll be breaking down all the myths about fitness and nutrition to show you what changes you can make today so you can confidently walk around at the beach this summer. I'll also be sending you a free workout and nutrition plan just to help you out. Jack used this information to go from 250 to 190 pounds in 90 days. Very extreme, right? But it's just an example. And Alex went from 250 to 199 days, and now recently got a girlfriend where he can proudly take off his shirt when he's around her. Okay? So he's just playing on some limiting beliefs. Then we have a second CTA. So click below this video. Click below. Watch the video, and I'll send you the free stuff to your email. I'm certain it will help you out. Now, one little gem here at the end before we're done. This is not a part of the ad, by the way. Don't overlook the power of PS lines in your copy. Everyone will read it. Okay? It's very powerful. It's like the line that most people will read if you have it. And you could use it to your advantage. So ways to use the PS line. A few examples. Scarcity, guarantee, break beliefs, reassuring them of the most important part of your copy, and humor to break sales resistance. And you can also take it further and add a PSS line, and just take it even further, you can have a PSSS line as well. But I hope you kind of saw with this ad, it's just an example, but I think this ad would work pretty well because you have something controversial that are against most people's opinions. Then you explain it by saying most people are misinformed, which is also why most men don't look the way they want. So this is just to make sense of it in the prospect brain, because they're like, oh, yeah, they must be misinformed if everyone doesn't look like they want to, right? So it makes sense. And then you say, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to work out every day to lose weight or get ripped. You don't have to spend money on a healthy diet. You don't have to waste time to cook all your meals on your own, right? So the first thing I'm doing after explaining the hook is just breaking down 3 things that they think, 3 beliefs that they have in their brain that they've had for years. So I'm just challenging their limiting beliefs. And then after I've challenged their limiting beliefs, I come with a solution. A video where I'll be breaking down all the myths about fitness and nutrition to show you what changing you can make today so you can confidently, and then desire, I'll be also sending you a free workout and nutrition plan just to help you out. This is just to encourage the click. And then once they get to your opt-in page, encourage filling out the information so that you can have a way to send them this information. Okay, it's a genius way. And then social proof. Jack used this to do this, and Alex went this to do the same thing, and now has got a new girlfriend. That's also one of the deepest desires. I don't know the brain psychology with men or with women, but with men, when you market to men, it's important to remember that sexual desires are the biggest driving force when it comes to a man's decisions. It's nothing that ignites the brain more and motivates the brain more than sexual desires. And that's just the way we're put together from an evolutionary standpoint. So I can subconsciously kind of try to convince someone that with this ad, that this guy, because he lost weight, I'm not saying he got a girlfriend because he lost weight, but I'm saying he went from this weight to this weight and recently got a new girlfriend that he can proudly take his shirt off when he's around her, right? So I'm not saying that he got a girlfriend because he lost weight, but what I'm saying is subconsciously, I'm making him assume something that I haven't said in order to further strengthen this ad, okay? Then the second CTA is just to remind them on the first one to just finish out the ad. So you can probably now think why it's so important to have a good ethical standpoint when you're marketing, because you have this power, right? You have this power, and if you don't actually sell something that is going to actually improve the lives of people, I mean, I'm just not built like that, and I'm sure you guys aren't either. So that's just why it's so important to be ethical and actually give a lot of value to the audience that you're selling stuff to, because you're making them, when they're watching this, they're feeling something. They have emotions in their brain. When I'm challenging their limiting beliefs, there's something going on in their brain, right? And when I'm doing this and this, they're feeling something, okay? And you don't want to affect someone's feelings if it's not for the better, okay? This is very important. Just a side note that I wanted to end this video with. So I hope you got some value out of this. We're going to be building upon these principles when we create the VSL, the video sales letter, and the ads and the website copy and the email copy later in this phase. But I just wanted to give you an introduction to copywriting, give you an example so you can understand how it's done. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.